What is going on, guys? It is Cave at Caves Cards here, and we have had a whopping sale. I've sold my first card on eBay, and it's actually not a Pokemon card. It's a Magic the Gathering card, and today I'm going to be taking you through the process of packaging that card and dropping it off at the post office. And make sure you watch all the way to the end, because I'm going to be telling you about exactly how I priced the card, how much I sold the card for, and what the purpose of that sale is going to be. Now, if you are new to the channel, then welcome to Caves Cards. Basically, I made a first video talking about how I am 36 years old, and in 2026, also the 30th year anniversary of Pokemon, I'm going to be starting a Pokemon card trading business and showing you the wins, the losses, the positives, the negatives, and everything in between. This channel is not necessarily going to be super polished. It is going to be raw. You're going to see a messy room, the construction of the room. You're going to see the cards that I've got. And essentially, I want to basically turn what I have is about $5,000 worth of inventory in Pokemon cards, which I bought in 2021, and I want to move them into better assets, whether it's sealed products, singles, everything like that. So if that sounds like something you're into, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and turn notifications on. And let me know in the comments, do you think that 2026 is a crazy year to get into card collecting? Now, it was super convenient because I actually went to the city the other day. This is a little sunglass container, but have a look at how perfect this is for holding top loaders. I mean, check that out. It's literally the perfect fit, like absolutely ridiculous. It was just kind of like it was meant to be. And this is roughly a market value of around about 500 USD worth of Magic cards. I didn't go through last sales on eBay to get that. That was basically through the Collector app, which I currently have no affiliations with. So yeah, I don't want to make this channel about trying to make it seem like this hobby is something that it's not. What I know is that I'm passionate about Pokemon. I was into the base set at 6 years old, and the base collection, that is, all of the vintages, and I was collecting a bit of Magic the Gathering as well. So this is the card. It's the Necro Potence card in holo. This is what I managed to sell. And this is what I will be shipping off today. Someone did buy that. The first card that I listed on eBay and my first official sale. And I will be actually rotating this sale into what will hopefully be some Ascended Heroes booster bundles, which we're going to be making another video about this coming Friday. So if you want to see that one again, make sure you subscribe, because that's probably one you're not going to want to miss. We're going to be getting up at 6:30 a.m. in the morning and trying to line up at 7 for an opening of around 8 a.m. at Kmart. Okay. So what I'm thinking here, in terms of the posting for this one, is just using the recycled stuff I've got. First thing I'm going to do is make sure the card's in there, first of all. And I'm going to put a bit of cardboard either side, just to offer that protection there. Got my bubble wrap there. I'm going to just pop a bit of sticky tape, just a little bit, not too much, on each side. So I've got one there. So whatever I'm buying, all the packaging and stuff, the bubble wrap, all of these bits and pieces, everything that I'm buying, I'm going to be recycling. Okay. Bang. So that's the initial there. And then I'm going to put it in this little box. I think it's going to be suitable. So I'm not just going to chuck it straight in there. I'm going to put some bubble wrap in there and be quite generous with it as well. So I think base of bubble wrap, like that. Okay, have a little bed where it can sit in there like so. I'll place the card in. Okay. May need to just trim the edges of this cardboard ever so slightly, because they're kind of like pushing into the corners of the box. Huh, can you imagine I cut the card? Oh my goodness. That would be a great start to my Pokemon trading card career. All right, I managed to not cut the card. All right, that's going to fit more nicely in there like that. You can see. All right, and then I'm going to pack it out so that that's going to be nice and firm. I did actually have a guy inquiring from Singapore. He was actually interested, but he didn't end up coming through to buy it. I actually offered to give him free postage. And a few days later, yeah, domestic order from Queensland, I believe. So that's pretty tight in there. I think that's going to be pretty acceptable.
Writing in the margins of my mind all day, sipping herbal in the morning just to feel okay. Had a dream.
Now the card itself actually took me a little while to pack because I just wanted to make sure had it packed properly and it wasn't like squishing the card, but as you can see, no movement in there, ready to go. The postage label was around $10, and what's really cool is I got like a little QR code, which I never had before. So basically I can take that QR code straight to Australia Post, they will scan it, print out the label for me, stick it on this box, send it off. I also got the extra insurance for like I think another $1.99, and that basically took me from I believe $100 cover up to the total of $200 cover. Yes, I sold this card for $199. Postage on top. Not bad, right? Just in the car now. My closest Australia Post is within 5 minutes, I'd say, from my home here. I think normally when I get things set up, I probably get a little bike when I get my bike and I ride my bike down just to save on petrol costs. Petrol's like what? Freaking over 200, about over $2 a litre or whatever now here in Oz. But yeah, we've got the card ready to go. QR code for the postage label. Let's do it! Another point as well, so I did send it off with insurance for $1.99, which covers me for the entire card. I was thinking about whether to get it signed for. I could have asked him the question, but it was basically delayed. He wouldn't have been able to get back to me in time. I've sent it just with tracking. My concern is that if it gets to him and he's not there to sign it, then he has to pick it up from the post office. It could be a bit of an inconvenience for the gentleman who's buying the card, and then they might leave me a neutral or negative review on eBay, which I want to try and avoid at all costs. So yeah, so basically I have sent it untracked. If it was like, I don't know, a $500 plus card, then I think I probably would have just, you know, sent it with signature on arrival. But yeah, hopefully it gets there okay. So folks, here are the sold listings for the Necropotence Foil Deck Masters. Garfield versus Finkel. So it's right here. That's my sale there. 199.99 Australian dollars. So in US dollars, we're talking 142 USD for that one. Now, you're probably wondering, how did you decide about the price? Well, I'm not going to pretend that I had a lot of time to really research this card. So it's very possible that this card will continue to go up in value. And I do get the feeling of like, oh no, did I sell it too early? But when you get those feelings, something you got to realize is what you're not aware of in that moment is how you're going to feel when, and I use the word when very carefully, when that card does have a retracement and dump in price, because it will dump eventually, just like any asset class, just like the stock market, just like the property market, just like any market. We always have dips in the market. And right now, this particular card was on a peak, and I made the decision to sell it. You got to remember, I pulled this card over 20 years ago from a pack, and I just pulled it out of my magic card binder. So I was happy to let go of it. Now, how did I decide about the 199? Well, I was scrolling through. So these are basically recent sold. So cards that actually did sell. This is one here, but this is actually autographed at $384. This is actually autographed by the actual illustrator, the artist behind that particular card. And if we keep scrolling down, there's going to be a few more. This was $269 AUD. This went for a PSA 8 by CGC. Okay. Now, if we keep scrolling, there's one that went for 146. That's a foil that went on the 20th of March. So about a month ago for 146. I sold mine for 199. So I'm thinking, you know what? I'm pretty happy with that. Another PSA 8 for 270. So these cards are going. 215 for a 7.5. Not PSA, CGC. CGC, another one for 215. Look at that. A PSA 8 for the same price as what I sold mine. Right, a PSA 8. See? PSA 8 for 199. So I'm feeling pretty good about my 199 AUD. Look at that, 192. 192 for that one there. Don't even know if that's a near mint. Might not even be a near mint, that one. So if we go over and have a look at TCG Player, have a look at this, folks. The 1 year charts all the way back on April 28th to May 24th. We had 4 sold for prices of around $47. This is in USD. Okay. Fast forward, look at this graph, guys. Look at this graph right here. Let me zoom in on this a bit. Look at this, 60 all the way up through 70, 80, 90, up to around about today's price, 117 USD. So
For some reason, this card is really moving. And like I said, there could be an argument made to say, well, you know, Cave, maybe you should have held on to this card. I mean, look at this. It's just up and up and up forever. But I'm telling you guys, I've been investing, trading stuff for long enough to know that this doesn't last forever. And eventually, market price will probably come down, liquidity will dry up. And this is also not a super liquid item. See, look, not a heap of items that are getting sold here. So probably more of a collector's card kind of situation. It's a beautiful card. I do love the artwork on it. I am sad to see it go. I'm not going to lie, because it's my highest value Magic the Gathering card. But this is business now. I'm going full send into Pokemon in 2026. And that's just what it's about. So if you enjoy that kind of content, then make sure you like, subscribe, hit notifications, because I'm going to be going to Kmart and Target trying to get the Ascended Heroes drop this coming Friday. So it's going to be a wild one. And oh, if you want to check out that first video I made about starting this journey for the 30th year anniversary of Pokemon, age 36, family in 2026, no excuses, the video is right here. Keeping it raw. We'll see you next time.
My grandma would play. Talk sweet like jazz in the park after rain. What the grass smell green and the air feels safe. Put the phone on mute, let the silence explain.